Okay, what if I told you that you could save thousands of dollars this year, and it wouldn't even feel like a chore? Seriously, it's not about making these huge, painful sacrifices. It's all about building a few simple daily habits that just quietly transform your finances in the background. All right, let's dive right in.
First things first, we've got to get something straight. When you hear that word frugal, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Come on, be honest. For a lot of us, it sounds kind of miserable, right? Like you're deprived or just plain cheap. But you know what? That couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, that's calling the biggest myth holding people back.
Here's the real deal. Frugality isn't about deprivation. It's about intention. It's a mindset. It's about being resourceful. It's really just about asking yourself, what do I truly value? And then making sure your spending actually lines up with that answer. It's about making sure your hard-earned money is working for your goals, not just disappearing on stuff that doesn't really matter to you in the long run.
So, where do we even start with all this? Well, we go straight for the jugular, the single biggest money leak for most families: food. It's that one area where cash just seems to vanish into thin air. But the good news? It's also where small, consistent habits can have the absolute biggest impact.
Look at this number. So what is that? Well, that's the potential annual savings for a family of 4, just by cutting their grocery bill by a strategic 20%. And believe me, that is totally, completely achievable.
So how do we do it? This simple strategy breaks down into our first 3 habits. Habit number 1, shop what you already own. Before you even think about going to the store, challenge yourself. See what you can make with what's already in your pantry and freezer. Habit 2, plan your meals around what's on sale, especially those big front-page deals. And habit 3, make a detailed list based on that plan. And then, this is the hard part, be disciplined. Only buy what's on the list.
And this leads right into habit number 4, which is a game changer for both time and money. Cook in bulk. Seriously. When you're making dinner, don't just make enough for one meal. Double it, triple it. Why? Because leftovers are the ultimate convenience food. They save you from making that tired, expensive takeout decision later in the week.
And habit 5 is all about putting those leftovers to work. Think about it, that $10 sandwich you grab near the office, that adds up to over $2,600 a year. Packing leftovers from the night before is one of the easiest, most impactful financial wins you can get. Period.
All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about the silent budget killer, passive spending. You know what I mean. These are those recurring bills and subscriptions that just drain your account every single month, often without you even noticing.
Get ready for this. It's a wild statistic. Research shows that most people think they spend about $80 a month on subscriptions. But when they actually sit down and add it all up, the real number is closer to $240. That is a massive blind spot. One streaming service feels small, sure, but when you've got 10 of them, plus music, plus apps, it becomes a huge expense. So this leads us right to habit 6. You have to audit your subscriptions. And here's the key question you have to ask for each one. Am I an active user or am I just a passive payer? I mean, a staggering 67% of gym memberships go completely unused. Go through your bank statement, and for every single one of those charges, ask yourself, am I really getting value from this? If the answer is no, you got to cancel it.
And here are 2 more super quick win habits. Habit 7, once a year, spend just 5 minutes calling to negotiate your recurring bills, like your internet and your phone. Trust me, they want to keep you as a customer. And habit 8, cut those phantom energy costs by unplugging electronics when you're not using them and switching your bulbs to energy-saving LEDs. It's a small thing that really adds up.
Now, being frugal does not mean you stop having fun. Not at all. It just means you get a little bit smarter about it. It's all about shifting your focus away from spending money and toward creating memories.
And this right here, this shows the whole mindset shift perfectly. Are your weekends wallet-driven or are they experience-driven? One is all about consumption, buying things, getting expensive tickets. The other is all about connection, with nature, with your community, with each other. And you know what the surprising part is? The experience-driven activities are almost always the ones we remember the most fondly.
So this brings us to habit number 9. Build your own frugal fun toolkit. Instead of automatically going for expensive outings, you gotta proactively explore all the free resources around you. Your library, it has movies, classes, events. Your local parks have incredible trails. And hosting a game night or a potluck, that often creates way better memories for just a fraction of the cost.
Okay, let's move to our final section, because this is where it all comes together. We've talked about tactics for food, for bills, for fun, but honestly, none of it really matters without the right mindset.
This is the foundation that makes all those other habits actually stick.
This quote just perfectly captures the essence of modern spending, doesn't it? It's almost never the one big purchase that completely wrecks a budget. No, it's the death by 1,000 cuts, those 100 little impulse buys that you barely even think about.
So, how do you fight this? You use habit number 10, the 30-day rule. For any non-essential purchase, over, say, $100, don't buy it. Not yet. Just write it down on a list and wait 30 days. You will be amazed how often you completely forget you even wanted the item. This simple rule is the perfect way to separate a temporary impulse from a genuine need.
You know, ultimately, this is all about shifting your identity from a consumer to a caretaker. A consumer is always thinking about the next upgrade, the newest model. But a caretaker, they value what they already own. They focus on repairing things, maintaining them, and getting the most life out of their possessions. I'm telling you, this one shift in perspective will save you tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime.
And that brings us to maybe the most important principle of all, famously said by Warren Buffett. Think about it. Most people spend their money all month long, and then they try to save whatever is left over, which, let's be real, is usually nothing. The wealthy? They do the exact opposite. The moment they get paid, the very first bill they pay is to their future self. They move money into savings and investments automatically. Then they spend what's left after that.
So let's bring it all home. Packing your lunch could save you $2,600. Smart grocery planning could save you another $3,600. Taming your subscriptions? Hundreds more. You see, these habits aren't about restriction. They are about freedom. So the real question isn't, what do I have to give up? It's, what will I gain? What would you do with that extra money? And maybe more importantly, with the peace of mind that comes with it?